Hi, this is Chris with Stupid Raisins, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to add LUTs to Final Cut Pro. LUTs are great for changing the mood of your video from dark and brooding to bright and annoying. I'm going to share with you how to do some basic color correction in your footage, and then we're going to go find some LUTs, add them to Final Cut Pro, and drop them into our library. And then we're going to take a look at creating presets in order to improve our workflow. Let's go check that out. Okay, so we're here in Final Cut Pro, and we are going to look at LUTs. So just to start things off, I want to read this definition for LUTs. LUT stands for lookup table. A LUT is a tool that lets filmmakers, editors, and colorists save particular color grades as a template. So you can think of a LUT as a color preset that a filmmaker can readily turn to when working on a project. You'll also, you can think of Instagram looks, where you can put a whole filter over something and adjust the degrees of that filter from one picture or one clip to the next. So in order to look at this example, we're gonna need some LUTs to work with. So there are some out there that you can purchase. There are many for free. We're going to check out from Color Grading Central. They've got a really great pack of free LUTs. So it's normally, it retails for $450, but they are letting these out for free, which is pretty amazing. So we're going to click download, and the typical way to get this is to go through Instagram. For this example, we're going to use email. So while we're waiting for that email to get back from Color Grading Central, we're going to look at basic color grading. So we're going to come in here and take a look at this clip from one of our recent videos, and we want to make some adjustments, make this look just right. So we're going to go into our color correction here, and as we're doing this, we want to look at our scopes. We do have another video that we've covered vector scopes and some more with color grading, so we'll try to keep this simple for now. I know from earlier that we want to bring this down back here. Do that real quick. Okay, then we're going to add another one. We're going to go with the color board, make some adjustments to the exposure. Now just a quick note, you'll notice that there's a 100 and a 0 threshold on here. These thresholds you don't want to go past with either your brightness up top or your shadows beneath. We'll want to keep those in a nice healthy spot. So let's make a few adjustments to make sure that that doesn't go over. All right, let's go to saturation. I'm gonna add a little bit of color back into this. And then from saturation, let's go to color. And in the brightness, I wanna bring down those blues. So as you go up, it'll add blue. As you go down, it'll remove blue. So we wanna remove some of the blue and find a spot down here moving left and right where the skin tones still look okay. On the global, let's bring up. All right, then we can jump back to the exposure and bring this up a little bit again. And all the while in these adjustments, we want to make sure that this line stays very close on the skin tone indicator. All right, so that's pretty great. Now you may want to make some adjustments of your own and dive in further. Maybe you like a particular look, whether warm or cool. I'll leave that to you, but that's just a basic overview of those tools. So let's try one more. This time we're going to use a different tool. We're going to bring in the color wheels. So you can already see on the video scopes, these waveforms, it's blown out quite a bit. We're even losing some information in some of these, the reflections on these cars. There was a little too much exposure when this was recorded. All right, so we're going to bring the highlights down to something a little more manageable, and the shadows as well we're going to bring up from the bottom. But I do want more dark spots in this image, so I'm going to bring the midtones down. You notice the midtones don't mess too much with the shadows and the highlights. It mainly adjusts everything here in the middle. You see that shift happening. So I'll leave that about there. And quite a difference already that we've made. Now the other thing I want to do is add into the global, like all the way across the board, I want to add some more color. And that's just raising this here. Looks like the more color we add, the more blue wants to show up. So we'll bring just a few more adjustments, and already looks a lot better. All right, now that we got both of those clips looking like we want, we are going to track down those LUTs.
If you're finding this video helpful,
excuse me. If you're finding this video helpful so far, just know we release videos like this all the time to help with your Final Cut Pro projects. Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell so you can get notified when we release a new video. So Color Grading Central is going to send you an email. Once you get that email, click the link. It'll bring us here to this download area on their website, and you can download the zip file, and we're going to dive into that right here. I'm going to open this up, and look, there we go. We've got these LUTs here. Set those off to the side. And before we bring in the LUTs, we want to go to the effects browser and search for LUT and the custom LUT effect. And now we're going to come up here to the video inspector, and here's where we will see that when we looked for a LUT, there's none. In our recent, there's none. Can't choose a custom LUT yet. So we're going to click on Reveal in Finder. That's going to bring up this folder in the Finder, and what we want to do is we want to bring all of our LUTs into this spot. So I've got our downloads here. Let's just drag them right into there. What we'll find in here is we now have some drop-down menus. So we can come through and see the film looks that can be added to our video. So there's also some log to Rec 709 formats. But the main thing we want to look at today is some of these looks. So in the LUTs, you'll find things like Blade Runner, which changes the entire look of this image. We could also go down and let's find Drive. Drive does a similar look but punches a bunch of the colors up. So a lot of these you'll see that it will just drastically change the image. Let's check out a few more. The Godfather, adding some age to the film. You also got The Matrix, just classic green tint. So now you might like one of these looks, but you find that, okay, this is a little too, maybe the look is too strong. Maybe it's you just want a subtle style. So just like on Instagram with putting on filters, you can drag this slider down and it changes how much that look gets mixed in with your color. If you wanted that look, but you wanted it to be a little more subtle, you've got control at your fingertips. Even with all those amazing LUTs, you may have a specific look that you're going for, or maybe you just want to try your hand at making one of these custom. We're going to adjust under a new color wheel here. So in diving into this other color wheel, we are going to adjust some of these sliders to find a new look. You can experiment in here and just know that even if you change things and it gets wildly off from what look you were trying to get, you can reset that whole color wheel here with just the click of this reset button. So I'm going to dive in, I'm going to find a look, do the same thing at home for your videos. I'll just take a moment. All right, so let's see what effect that made. Oh yeah, quite a difference. So let's say we love that look and we want to modify that with the rest of our project. Click on Save Effect Presets. Now in these other clips, we've done our own color correction, so we don't really want to mess with those. So we're going to focus on just the color wheels too. So we'll uncheck everything else but those new sets of color wheels. We'll find a spot to put all these. Let's name this Dark Street. Now if we wanted to apply this to my image over here, what we can do is go to the effects. Let's search for dark, and boom, there's our set. Example, Dark Street. Now you might find that, like, whoa, that does some crazy stuff to this image. You can come in here and still adjust this color wheel. So if you wanted to bring up some of the brightness, adjust the global amount, you want to make those adjustments where it looks normal for that image, but it still is matching with what is going on over here. All right, and with that, we've reached the end. Thanks for tagging along. Wow, that was a LUT. Now that you've learned how to add LUTs in Final Cut Pro, I've made another video about how to flip footage in Final Cut Pro. Click here to check it out.